Good evening, I am Amadin Ogbewe. Now tonight we'll be taking a look at life under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. We'll be taking a look at the economic situation of things, where he has got it right, perhaps where he has got it wrong, and where he could get it better. It is believed that members of the party, those who supported and support the president, the ruling party, shouldn't speak out against some of the things that might not be considered on the right course when the president is in question. But tonight we'll try and take a dive into the mind of a supporter of the party to see really how they rate the administration's performance so far, what they feel are the pitfalls, what they feel are the successes, and what they feel could be the recommendations for actually getting a stronger administration that delivers the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. Tonight, I'm joined by Dr. Francis Okoye to speak on these issues. He's an APC stalwart, and he was also a member of the Presidential Campaign Council. He tells us now, from his perspective as a supporter, what life under President Tinubu's administration is like and what it should be like. Dr. Okoye, good evening. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. All right, so it's no secret that you're an APC stalwart, a strong member who campaigned and, got the current president to have elected. Part of the work, your groundwork you did led to that. Before we go into any specifics, I'd like to get, first of all, your reaction to the state of things right now. Have things gone in any way as you expected, or perhaps another way? What's your basic assessment of the state of things as at now in the new administration?
The state of things as at today in Nigeria, taking into cognizance the 8 months plus administration of our dear president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, things are not going well. Nigerians are hungry. Unemployment is at a very high rate. Insecurity, we don't go in talking about security in Nigeria again today. The insecurity situation has become so alarming. Prices of food items have risen to an all-high in the current administration. Many other issues of hunger and poverty ravaging Nigerians are what we are witnessing in this very administration of ours. Like you rightly said, I was among those who campaigned for Bola Ahmed Tinubu as our president. But if you ask me, the administration has not really done what Nigerians are expecting the administration to do in terms of not just speeches and rhetorics, but following it with action, and the president stamping his authority on things that he's supposed to stamp his authority. Take, for instance, the issue of service chiefs. You can't be talking about insecurity at this point in this country when you have 5 service chiefs, army chief, naval chief, air chief, defense chief, and national security advisor, or even the inspector general of police. These are the people who are responsible for the security of this country, and they were all appointed by the president. We expect the president to give them a marching order, give them a time frame under which to tackle a certain issue, maybe issue of kidnapping, issue of armed robbery, issue of oil bunkering. You give them a marching order and say, I am giving you people 3 months to tackle so and so issue. If after that 3 months that person fails, you have the power of firing and firing as the president. You fire that person. So that the next person that will be appointed into that position, we know that I will be giving equally that same marching order. And if I don't perform, I will not be allowed to continue in office. That person will sit up. We have not seen our president giving such marching order. That is what we expect the president. So that's why I'm using that one as an example. And the president has not actually, in the last 8 months, stamped his authority as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution gives him that power to hire and fire. Let him use it.
All right. So I think the question one might ask now is, where did it go wrong? Definitely, if you campaigned for him, it's because you believe he could do the job. And perhaps I believe you must still harbor hope that he can right things. But what do you think might be the reason for the slow start or the start we are currently seeing? And how do you respond to people who let's take a look at some other fellow APC members? When they try to criticize the government, they are reminded that they campaigned for the government, and people tried to, for a lack of a better word, to reduce or not allow them speak. That, well, you voted for this person that brought us here. Why are you complaining? So how do you view that?
No. Yeah, that you voted for TINUBU and campaigned for TINUBU has not removed the right for you to condemn things when they are going wrong. You are a Nigerian. Even if I'm a billionaire today, and I'm not feeling the impulse of all the skyrocketing of food prices, insecurity, and stuff like that. My cousins are feeling it. My relations are feeling it. My friends are feeling it. And the burden on me as a billionaire will increase because those people who are not seeing food on their table will be disturbing you. If there are only 10 people that disturb you in a day to beg you for money, they will increase to 100. So it will affect you one way or the other. So therefore, since it is affecting you, you should equally voice out when things are going wrong. Like I'm voicing out. That I'm voicing out today now doesn't mean that TINUBU, we didn't see all these things before we voted him. No, because most of the problems we are seeing today are not even the problems created by him. So why should I not say the only thing I'm blaming him on is taking action, being decisive, being more firm and resolute on taking certain decisions. That's the only way I'm blaming him. But in terms of all these problems we are facing today, they are as a result of accumulated problems from particularly the immediate past administration of Buhari. So you don't blame TINUBU on them. But you have to blame him when he's not taking action.
President TINUBU supported that administration.
Yes, he supported him. He's his party man. He has the right to support him. The way I equally have right to support TINUBU that I supported.
So back to the question, what do you think went wrong? What went wrong?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. What went wrong are a backlog of economic policies of the immediate past. Take, for instance, this issue of Naira redesign. It's part of the problem we are facing today. Take, for instance, during the 2023 general presidential election, we are aware that the immediate past CBN governor worked against TINUBU. We are aware that he worked with PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and his vice. They were holding money and sending those money they were holding to the PDP to ensure that PDP wins. We are aware that I'm coming and forget all these things. We know the truth. I'm a member of APC Presidential Campaign Council. I know what transpired. We are aware that our immediate past president, Buhari, actually did not support TINUBU to become president. It was a small screen. We know the truth. He wanted Atiku, another Fulani man, to become president. And because of that, he was using somebody like Emefiele and the rest of them to pump money to that side and making sure that these people on TINUBU's side were stampeded. So he brought us certain policies that were anti-people. Those anti-policies of the CBN administration of Emefiele were part of the problems we are facing today. You have seen billions of naira, dollars of Nigerians had money that we are being stashed away in many foreign banks or accounts, different accounts of Emefiele and his cohorts. So these are part of the things we are suffering. Then in a situation whereby you as a CBN governor, we have certain people you will be allotting dollars to, and those you will not be given. You make policies that will favor a certain set of people in the country that will not favor the commoners. See, as a CBN governor, you are there to serve the Nigerian masses. Even though you are an appointee of the president, there are certain things that the president or the president's cabal or men will tell you to do as CBN governor. You will tell them, no, Mr. President, Sanusi was a CBN governor. We know what happened during his tenure. There are certain policies that the president will tell him to execute. He will say, no, Mr. President, as an expert in this field, I'm advising that we do it this way, that, the other way. But it didn't happen during Emefiele. Everything went, everything goes. And that is what we are facing today.
Do you think, the president can still try and fix that issue?
Yes, TINUBU that I know. For TINUBU to make that statement he made on May 29, the statement of removing fuel subsidy from the first day of his administration shows he has that political will. That is why I'm saying here today that he needs more of those political will, more of those decisive action, more of those being firm and resolute in taking decisions. Take, for instance, the other day he initiated, is it how many thousand has since came for Nigerians. These are some of the things that if you start doing, you follow it with action. Make sure that the common people who are supposed to benefit from that housing scheme benefit, not staying in the comfort of your office as the president and the cabals will hijack it. At the end of the day, the commons will not benefit. No, I believe TINUBU has that will, and Nigerians who voted him are expecting him to use his hammer where necessary. Let him be more firm, more resolute in taking decisive actions that will uplift many Nigerians out of poverty. We are not going to solve this problem in 8 years. If people are thinking that TINUBU is going to do magic within 4 years or 8 years if he is re-elected, no magic will happen, because what we are spoiled under the APC past administration of Buhari and 16 years of PDP cannot be fixed in 8 years. But we have hope that within the 4 years of his administration, certain actions he will take will give us a hope that things will get better.
Okay, you've even admitted here that perhaps or alleged that the president might have been involved in trying not to allow the current president emerge, the ex-president. So the question now is, there seems to be an unspoken agreement from president to president, which is that even when they notice that the previous administration has made errors in social places, they never go after the man who was in charge himself. Take, for instance, the recent saga involving the former CBN governor has that about $6.2 million was used for election observers. Now, the former SGF says that document was, the signature was forged. We don't really, we're still, it's still a developing story. But my question is, do you think it's even in the realm of possibility for the current president to go after the former president? Or is it a case where, well, let's just let it go and move to the future? Because
we have to look at antecedents. Tell me any Nigerian sitting president that has probed his predecessor. None. Good. So don't put TINUBU into a temptation of probing Buhari.
But we agree that
he
made
take
mistakes.
on it. I won't say further.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. One would have expected, since most people seem to put the blame at his hand, they would, want him to come and answer the
I
query.
think the matter will be going to court. So let the court decide.
Oh, all right, fair enough. So, that being said, you mentioned housing just now. It's clear from the way you speak that you will call out the government when it's wrong. But have you seen signs of, a positive direction? Because we want to take a look at everything holistically. Yes. What are those positive signs you've seen?
I have seen signs. Take, for instance, the other day the president came back from his private visit to France, and immediately he came back, he ordered that food reserves should be released to bridge the gap of prices of food items that were skyrocketing before he came back. And I can tell you authoritatively that action, that presidential pronouncement is yielding fruit. Some prices of the food items, I'm a marketer myself, are coming down gradually. That's number one, to show you that the signs are there. Then two, that pronouncement he made on May 29, removing fuel subsidy, has increased the allocations given to state governors. While we are blaming the presidency, we should equally look at the state governors and our local government and councillors, the local government chairmen and councillors. A situation whereby a state like Anambra was receiving something like 90 billion naira from federation account every month during the Buhari administration. And during TINUBU administration, the last one that they shared, I think it was 162 billion for my state, Anambra. Have you seen the increase? Because of that fuel subsidy removal. The money saved from that fuel subsidy has now increased all the money shared by state government through federation account. Now, we should equally be asking some of our governors, what are they doing with those additional billions of naira? Should we be prosecuting only the presidency? What are those state governors doing with those money? What are the local government chairmen doing with it? You find out a situation whereby most of these states do not conduct local government election. They stampede administration at the grassroots level. Mind you that whenever a constitutionally or democratically elected government is set up at the local government level, it will reduce the push or the rush to go to the center. People coming to wanting to live in Abuja will reduce. People always calling those at the federal level will reduce. The demands from the federal level will reduce because the people at the grassroots are working, and they are working because they are democratically elected. But whereby most of them are being run through critical committee. Take for instance my state in Anambra. Soludo, before he became our governor, promised that within his first year in office he will conduct local government election. Soludo will be 2 years in office in the next two or 3 weeks. We've not seen any sign that local government election will be conducted in Anambra State. He is stampeding and sitting on all those allocations, billions of naira for all the 21 local government areas of Anambra State. What is he doing with it? Nothing. I came back from Anambra State 2 weeks ago. I spent a month and 4 days in Anambra State. I went there on 25th of December, 27th of December. I came back just about 2 weeks ago. I toured almost all the senatorial districts and local government areas of Anambra State. I'm not seeing anything to show that this governor has stayed 2 years in office. If you compare other state governors where we don't have functional elected local government system, it is the same story. Ask our governors what they are doing with those money. So to me, there are signs that the TINUBU administration will improve upon the achievement of the last 8 months. But we should also question our state governors and our local government councillors.
Fair enough. You raise a point here which we always try to enlighten our viewers on, which is that the presidency, yes, they have their responsibilities, but it's also good to follow up on all the tiers of government. So that being said, I want to get your response to, what I call it, a response from the APC. You're an APC member here, and you seem to be vocal about what you've seen that is wrong and what is right. But recently, there was some protest, I believe in Niger State and another state, where people were complaining or condemning the high cost of living. And the APC's response was really to say that the opposition parties were rallying up Nigerians and trying to make them, go against the government, so to speak. What do you make of that response? How do you think the APC as a party what should be their countenance towards Nigerians right now?
On the issue of protests in Niger, I stand with my party 100%. The statement made by my party, the All Progressive Congress, that protest, particularly that of Niger, was politically motivated, sponsored by the opposition. I stand 100% by it. I once stayed in Niger. I have friends in Niger State. I called them when the uprising started. Are you still seeing them today? When you see something that is actually natural, you will see it keep flowing and increasing. Are you still seeing the protest today? No. That is to tell you these are a group of people who were bribed or given small peanuts to come out on the street to paint the government black.
You think they have legitimate complaints?
No, I'm not denying them the rights to say that. That's what I wanted to say. That does not mean that they don't have right to protest. People have right to protest. But you protest when actually it is from your heart, not when you are being pushed or when you are being bribed to do that. It is wrong. That's number one. Then number two, I am not using that to support that there is no hunger in the land. I said it earlier. There is hunger in the land. So much hunger in the land today. So much hunger and poverty. But that doesn't mean that of Niger protest is in order. I stand by my party's statement on that angle.
Fair enough. So the question is, in the issue of opposition, recently the Chief of Staff of the President, Mr. Femi Bajabiamila, said that social media needs regulation. And some persons weren't too happy with that. Others fully supported him that perhaps it does need regulation. And some people started bringing back old tweets of them in opposition. And I wonder, what would you expect opposition to do or behave like in this situation? Because people say there's opposition is reducing or shrinking. We have a PDP, is one of the strongest PDP members, according to word on the street, is a minister currently in the APC government. We have a lot of PDP persons praising the government every other day. Multiple parties, even we have Mr. Daniel Bwala, who's now inching towards the APC. So I want to get your opinion. As someone who is part of the ruling party, what are your expectations, knowing that in the past, the APC was also opposition, and we saw how the APC were towards the ruling party. What do you expect from opposition for the sake of the country overall?
Everybody has the right to make any statement he thinks right in any issue in this country. The Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, may be right in his own statement, in the sense that some of these things you see on social media, some of them are... Now, let me give you an example. Like I told you, I'm an insider in this government. The letter that they said that was purportedly signed by Buhari, the communication between Buhari and Boss Musafa, the immediate party for staff.
Yes.
Go and look at the content of that letter. There is a part that said, accept the assurances of my highest regard or esteem or stuff like that. The Chief of Staff to the President can never use such statement in his communication with his boss. Take, for instance, if you are my boss now, there is no way in my memo with you that I will use such a sentence. That is to tell you that some of these things are forged. So when you see some of these forged documents being brandished on the media, and you see people hyping and making noise all over the place, it can arise or arose the kind of statement made by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. So that's why I say that sometimes whenever one makes a statement, you don't know what prompted that particular statement. He may be right. Then on my own particular assessment, I think Nigerians have a right to air their view, whether through social media, conventional media like we are here now, on any issue concerning them in this country. It is their legitimate right. Nobody can deny them that. So telling me that you come and gauge them or cage them social media-wise. Remember we in APC, it was through that means that we got to where we are today. Why do we now deny it to Nigerians? That's my take.
Fair enough, fair enough. When you talk about that's a controversial issue, which I'm glad to get your response on. There's another one that's making the rounds now. A PDP senator, I'm sure you know him, Senator, his name slips my mind right now. Anyway, he has proposed that Nigerians should be allowed to bear arms in the issue of insecurity. That, why should it be that only the assailants should be able to, Senator Ned Nwoko, sorry, slipped my mind. Now, why should only the assailants be able to bear arms and so on? And he's saying that if regular Nigerians like you or I were able to bear arms, maybe we could better protect ourselves. Now, the debate has been ongoing left and right. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. What do you make of that?
I don't buy that idea. I oppose that idea of allowing Nigerians to bear arms 100%. I oppose it 100%. This is not a banana republic. Yes, in some Senate climes it is allowed, but I know Nigerians. If such laws are made and Nigerians are allowed to bear arms at their whims and caprices, I think me and you may not be in this studio. Because anytime we hear bam, we may be shaking because we don't know where it is shooting or who is shooting or even whether they are coming after me and you. There will be lawlessness. There will be extrajudicial killing. So I don't buy that idea. I oppose it totally.
All right, that's why we have the National Assembly. Hopefully we get robust debates and the majority will have their way. So still on the life under this administration, I'd like to get your thoughts as to some recent happenings. With the president's, initially the president said that he reduced the number of persons who would travel with him, and he did the same for his vice and all of that. In the terms of cutting costs, how would you rate this presidency? Because we see varying news. With what I just said, on the flip side, we see the National Assembly saying that pushing for almost 20% of the budget to be allocated to them, despite the amount they already get for constituency projects and all of that. So I'd like to get your thoughts as to the fiscal responsibility of this government. How would you rate it, and how do you think it should continue? If you can also add state governments, perhaps, how should we be seeing spending of money?
I think we've not gotten it right in terms of our fiscal responsibility. This is where the CBN governor comes right in hand. I think the current CBN governor does not know his onions. Sorry to say this. I've said it severally in the media since the past 1 week. I've been saying it. I have no personal issues with him. I don't even know him. I've not met him. If he comes here, I wouldn't even know it's Cardoso that is here. But from what is happening today, from the type of policies he's rolling out and the ways and manner he's tackling the issue of economy and the rest of them, I think he needs to be put into another place where he could perform. That CBN governorship position is enveloping him. He doesn't know his onions on that field. That having been said, look at the situation where you will see all our elected public officials, from the presidency to the governors, ministers, senators, rep members, even ordinary councillors. When they want to do any financial transaction, they will do it in dollar. Is dollar now our own medium of purchase? Is it dollar when we have naira, which is the only legal tender in this our country? But whenever they want to do any exchange, pay money, pay people, pay any bills or services, you see most of those bills being paid in dollars. While we have our own legal tender, the naira. They are weakening the naira.
So the ruling class has the blame.
Yes, I just mentioned them now. I just mentioned all of them. And the CBN governor is there watching, and he has not brought out any rules that will ensure that such things do not happen, even when some of these people may seem to be untouchable. That is where the president will also come in. That decisiveness and firmness of the presidential hammer. That is what I'm saying. It is high time. If we want to fix this country, it's very easy. Fixing Nigeria is very easy. We only need the political will from the ruling class. Being decisive, being firm, being resolute, no matter whose horse is God, whether it's my wife, my cousin, my girlfriend, my nephew, or what have you. Make sure that the laws are applied without fear or favor.
What about the parts where you might lose political strength?
Then you are not ready to fix the country.
For instance, the president made a decision to take some section of the CBN to Lagos, to take the FAN to Lagos, and some persons took it as a tribal thing, that he's trying to take things to his states, and that he would pay for it in the polls. How do you see situations like that?
Nobody should threaten the president with their votes. Whenever the president wants to take action or implement policies that he, as the president or the government, knows will help better the loss of Nigerians. Nobody should use their vote in future, whether 2027 or 31, to threaten the president. And that is where that same political will I'm telling you about comes in. The president should take any action he deems fit. The constitution of this country, the mandate given to him last year, has given him 4 years to take such actions. So far, it is to the interest of Nigerians, not for ethnic chauvinistic agenda. Let him do it.
All right, to round up the program now, I want to get your thoughts, your message really to Nigerians. You've spoken about what you feel should be changed, what should be done, and all of that. What would you say to the people? They are the ones really bearing the brunt and hoping to see a change soon. I wonder what you would say to them, particularly as someone who's with the ruling party. What should they expect? What should you say to them?
Yes, I plead with Nigerians to give the government more chance. This is a 4-year mandate, and we are just 8 months out of the 4 years. So we still have 3 years plus 4 months to stay in office. 8 months is too small to describe the Asiwaju administration as a failure. I will never do that at this point in time. So let Nigerians give the administration more time for the president to show the firmness and the decisiveness of his powers as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let the ministers do their work. Let the elected House of Reps, senators, and the state assembly members and governors equally do their own. Whoever that Nigerians have given mandate should sit up and live up to expectations, so that at the end of the day, Nigerians who we are pleading to give the government more time, we see the need for that more time to be given to them. There is hope for Nigeria. I believe in the indivisibility of the Nigerian nation, and I also believe that the future is bright for the Nigerian nation.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Okoye, for coming. Thank you so much.